gonna need a minute on this one. Be right back. You gotta know your hours of services and what you can and cannot do in the time frame. What I mean by that is the load I was supposed to pick up or the load I just picked up had an appointment time from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 p.m. Unfortunately, I had to stop just outside my last delivery, which was 2.5 hours away from my pickup. So what ended up happening is I had to drive into my shipper with an active clock. Now, sometimes that can work out, sometimes it can bite you in the butt. Well, this time it kind of bit me in the butt a bit. So, looking at the load, I have till 10 a.m. tomorrow to deliver this. So I had almost 48 full hours to make this delivery. So breaking it down, it was about 1,200 miles loaded I got to take care of, which is 2 driving shifts pretty much. So that means I'm going to have to do at least 2 10-hour breaks to get in there. So I'm sitting there looking at it, and by time they got me loaded, it was 5.5 hours of sitting there, burning my clock, burning my 14 before I could roll out. So what I ended up having to do was looking at that. I could do it in 2 shifts. So if I would have, I think I had like 3.5 hours left on my clock where I could have drove. But if I would have done that, I wouldn't have had enough time, because that means I would have had to take a third 10-hour break in order to make it into my receiver. Even if I would have done 8-2 split right there. First off, that place didn't have bathroom, didn't have food, didn't have access to dick. So I rolled to the close. I used PC, which you can use PC now when you're loaded to get to your closest safe haven, which is right down the street. Rolled in there, got a parking spot, got about 4 hours of sleep, rolled out. So that way, yesterday I did do a full shift, and today I still got to do a full shift in order to make my delivery on time for the morning. But you gotta know your hours of service and all that. As I said, if I would have just rolled out and just took off and burned out my clock, then after I took my 10-hour break, I would have had to take another 10-hour break in order to freaking make it on time, and then I would have been late. Wouldn't have been on the shipper, it wouldn't have been on dispatch or anything else like that. That fault for being late would have been 100% on me, because I didn't look at my hours of service and made sure I can correctly run the load in time. Like now, I'm not going to be late. I'm actually going to be, I think, still at least 2 to 3 hours early. So pay attention to your hours of service. I'm going to do a whole video breaking down all our clocks and everything for you guys, or some of you guys, to help understand what you can and can't do. I'm not going to tell you to do anything illegal. If you want to do certain stuff, that's all on you. I'm not going to tell you how to do it illegally. So, but anyways, that's why it is very important you understand your hours of service. Because then, if I would have rolled out and then had to take another 10-hour break, so I would have had 30 hours in breaks, that would have put me 8 hours late, and that would have been 100% my fault. Dispatch would have been calling, bitching at me, saying, hey, what the hell you doing? Why you late on this? So, but since I pay attention to my clock, it sucks because now I got to run overnights back to back, but it is what it is. It's part of reefer. You are going to run overnights. You're going to have weird ass delivery times. So something to keep in mind if you're thinking about going into the refrigerated department. But I just want to kind of tell you guys that story. Keep that in mind. And also, on the other side of it too, is you got to remember that you are representing your company when you're at these shippers and receivers and customers, washouts, fuel islands and all that. So if you go in there, like I was sitting there for 5.5 hours, if I would have gone in there, cussed them out, screaming them out and all that, more than likely they would have just banned me from property and never can haul their freight again. Not a terrible thing, but and also the worst case they can also do, and I have seen back when I was at Prime, someone left a bad review about a place that was really racist. They lost the whole contract. So remember, you represent your company, so even if you gotta bite your tongue, go back in your truck, get down the road, then cuss them out. That's what you gotta do. Unfortunately, it sucks. It goes back into my other previous video talking about professionalism. If you can't check your ego at the door, you're not gonna last. So, hope this video helps you guys out. Remember to subscribe, turn on all notifications. Appreciate the support, checking out my videos. So, stay tuned. A lot more to come.